Hi, I'm Brooke, and today I have Rhonda to talk to me about her carnivore journey. She's going to share with us how it's been really working for her. Hi, Rhonda, how are you?
Hi, Brooke. I'm great. Thank you.
So, what brought you to this meaty carnivore diet?
Well, I came across it from Mike Munsel's wife, Deanna, was doing OMAD and started the carnivore diet. And when I saw that, I thought, yeah, that would work perfectly for my life. So I just kind of pre-planned it because I work away from home. And I thought, well, I'll just do it when I had a brief stint at home where I could adjust and be on my own schedule and routine. So that's when I planned it September 14th last year. So I'm 1 year carnivore now.
Congratulations, good for you.
Thanks. Thanks.
And what were you eating before?
Well, prior to carnivore, we were 2.5 years on the ketogenic diet. So I have a long history of different types of foods, if you want me to go into that. So when I was thinking about my food history, I was thinking how I was eating when I was younger. And I grew up on a farm, so I was eating quite organic, and we raised our own animals. And I grew up that way, and we harvest our own animals. So, and I grew up on wild game meat a lot.
Sounds really healthy.
It was. And then, you get into kids and you get into life and marriage and stuff like that. And life gets extremely busy. So I think I did something that most moms probably do, and they don't take care of themselves very well. So I started eating a lot of carbohydrates and trying to make money stretch and feed the kids. And I was going to university full time. So my diet really took a turn for the worst. And I was just basically living on carbohydrates and coffee. So I remember I was thinking back, and I can remember so many times of that constant yo-yo of the coffee and then the carb crash and then the coffee high and the carb crash. And I remember just being exhausted all the time with that, thinking this has got to be a better way to do this. But I was also working as a trauma consultant. So I was attending tragedies a lot and doing crisis intervention in communities. So with that happening, I wasn't able to take care of my health at all. So for approximately over 10 years, my diet was absolutely terrible, where it'd be 11 o'clock at night and, what's available, stores are closed. I would just hit a bag of chips in the lobby of a hotel or something like that. So I didn't have a chance to take care of myself for a long time. And then it snuck up on me. People warned me that it would, and it did. It snuck up on me, and I got to I remember being in a store trying on size 14 pants thinking, uh-oh, these are too tight. And I remember just that moment of just feeling terrible about it and just trying to hide. And I was tall, so I was able to kind of wear baggy clothes and adjust and hide my weight and stuff like that. And then I had a tragedy in my life. I lost my adoptive dad, and that really sent me into a tailspin. So I realized I had not been taking care of myself for many, many years. My diet was crappy. I was living on carbohydrates. I was working, hair straight back for many months weeks and months at a time. And when he passed away, it was my eye opener. So I thought, okay, this is it. I got to change my life. I've got to get myself healthy. So I didn't know where to start, but I just started off, with increasing more vitamins and cutting out some sugar and cutting out the carbohydrates a little at a time. So nothing ever happened overnight for me. It was all stages that I went through. And then I set some goals for myself because I had some personal issues that were holding me back from thriving. So I created some goals that were terrifying. So I entered a bodybuilding competition.
Wow.
At the age of 47 years old. And I thought that was extremely crazy and absolutely terrifying. And that's the only way I was going to force myself to do it, was that way. So I started on a bodybuilding diet. And that was a lot cleaner, right? It put more nutrients into my body. So my health started going up, up, up. but it was also a bodybuilding diet. So I was going down, down, down in calories, right? So there's that whole scenario there.
Did you start eating meat with that bodybuilding diet?
Yeah, I ate some meat. Yeah, it wasn't a lot. You know, it was expensive at the time when I'm raising teenagers. So, yeah, I didn't take care of myself when it came to eating properly. But the diet was strict and restrictive. So it provided me with some structure. I did the bodybuilding competition, and then I rolled into a series of doing other bodybuilding competitions because I hadn't healed what I needed to heal within my soul. So I decided I had to do a couple more to reach my personal goals and overcome what I needed to overcome. So I stayed on that diet for 5 years, and I did a series of competitions. So in between doing a competition and then not doing competitions, going back onto like a bulking diet versus a bodybuilding diet. So my weight would fluctuate. So I would go up 25, 30 pounds quite easily in what was considered the bodybuilding diet off season. And then when it was time to do next competition, I would drop 25 to 30 pounds. So I was yo-yoing.
That's a typical situation for a bodybuilding competitor, isn't it? That they sort of lean out and bulk up and
yes, yes. It was a very interesting journey. And then in between that, I started hearing about the ketogenic diet. So my coach put me on a ketogenic diet, which wasn't a true ketogenic diet, but in the meantime, it was better choices than the carbs that I was told to eat at that time. And I didn't want to because I was, up over 150 pounds quite easily in my off season. And then it would be time to do the next competition. Then you're just going down again. And I was worried about my health. And I didn't want to cause any metabolic damage and get into those scenarios where I saw my competitor friends not staying healthy anymore and, losing their periods and stuff like that. So I was very careful. And when I finished I did my last bodybuilding competition when I was 50 years old. So it's been 3 years now that I've been off competing. I might do some more in the future, but that's okay. I'm busy right now doing other things. So when I came off the bodybuilding diet, I flipped right away into a full ketogenic diet, which I absolutely loved. It was great. Hubby had started his ketogenic diet before me, and I saw what was happening with him, and I thought, that is fantastic. So we were doing really well on that until I found Deanna Munsel's post on Instagram that she was doing carnivore, and I just thought, yeah, I wanted to take it to the next level because I had done, carbs to paleo to bodybuilding diet to ketogenic to bodybuilding to all over the roadmap, and I just thought that is something that sounds sustainable. It sounds like something that's really going to suit my lifestyle because I'm a busy person. So I thought that was the way to go. So I thought, that's it, setting the date, going to go for it. Stayed home for 3 weeks from work because I work out of town. And instantly there was changes, and I just couldn't believe it because I thought at the ketogenic stage of my body's health and wellness, which was really darn good. I'm pretty happy about that. But then I realized, wow, there's next levels up from here. So I was pretty excited to start those journeys and see what was going to happen. Just be my own test subject.
What was your digestion like once you just went to carnivore and dropped all those ketogenic piles of greens?
Well, it was clean carbs when I was doing the ketogenic. So it was like the broccoli and lots and lots of kale and stuff like that.
Yes.
My digestion bloating went away instantly. Bloating and my tummy flattened out. I could feel my hip bones, and I thought, wow, it's been a while since I could feel that. And I just, I really liked right away what I was feeling. I started sleeping better. I just felt a calmness and some sort of serenity come over my body that was just taking me down to a place where I needed to go. So I noticed within a couple of weeks, I dropped weight right away, like instantly, which was awesome, but I thought my set point was 150 pounds. That's what I was thought, but clearly it's not.
So you were able to sort of drop into the ketogenic diet, which really just sort of meant eliminate some of those, the carnivore diet. So you could drop into the carnivore diet, which really meant eliminating those plants that you've been including on the ketogenic diet. And you were already kind of a meat-based ketogenic diet?
Heavily meat-based ketogenic.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And so you could just sort of drop those things away, and then you saw these kinds of digestive improvements and weight loss, it sounds like. And did you have any kind of symptoms of adjustment during that time?
Yeah, I saw the Joe Rogan thing in advance, and I was doing my own research. So I did hear that there would be some surprise tummy issues, and it was a heck of a surprise. But it was 2 weeks of insecurity. On, after you have a meal, your tummy starts to gurgle, and it's just like, okay, we're taking care of some business here. But yeah, it didn't last that long. It was 2 weeks of an adjustment, and I didn't think it was that bad. There was something cleansing and healing about it at the same time, where I never had such a good level of digestion because of that, the heavy carbs in the past. I wouldn't use the bathroom for 5 days sometimes. So I found this to be refreshing, and I felt like my body was doing what it was supposed to do. And yeah, it didn't bother me or concern me in any way at all. It was just something that I adjusted to, and it went away. So it felt right to you. Pardon me?
So it just felt right to you when you switched to carnivore, just eating.
Yeah. I was mentally prepared, and it was just something that felt simple. Mm-hmm. It was, and when you live in the world of measuring and weighing all of your food for so long on a bodybuilding diet, to get to carnivore and just eat satiating food that brought peace within my body was brand new to me. Instead of that whole stress level of weighing everything, measuring, like if a kernel of rice falls off your scale, you put it back on, right? So counting calories used to be my world, and now it's gone. And it's just such a relief to not have to even think about what I'm consuming. It goes in, my body tells me what it wants. It is thrilled with what I'm putting in there. It's just a level of calmness. Like, I realized how many food issues I had.
So nice.
My whole life.
And as a bodybuilder, have you noticed improvements with body composition or anything like that?
Well, I leaned out quite fast, and I decided I should probably eat 2 meals a day, because I started off doing one and just seeing how that went. And then I was dropping more weight than I wanted to, because I didn't want to get lean anymore. I wanted to just find a maintenance level. So I've been eating 2 meals a day mostly. If I feel like eating one, I eat one. But I've kind of let go of all the food control. So I eat when I want, I fast when I want, and the foods are completely, I'm not bored at all. I'm 1 year into carnivore, and I find the foods fascinating. I get excited about it all the time. And it's just like, woohoo, what's for dinner tonight?
Nice. It sounds easy. Sounds like a good, easy transition.
The most exciting thing for me was I've been anemic my whole life, like chronic anemic, into the hospital, on medications, take your iron, get, the red letter on the letter from your doctor saying, get into my office right now, right? So when you struggle with severe anemia, you don't know what the other side feels like. So now I got my numbers back, and I'm at 71. So that was a few months back, like over 6 months ago, I had my iron tested, and I was at 71, which is like extraordinarily high for me. So and then also to discover that it was actually the vegetables that I was eating on the ketogenic diet that was leaching my ability to absorb iron.
Yeah.
So now that I don't have that, my iron is going up, and your ability to think clearly, your ability to thrive, my energy is constant from the minute I wake up to the minute I go to bed. No more roller coasters like the old days. So it's just high energy every day, all the time.
Oh, that sounds so good. So with anemia, besides the energy, feeling strong, feeling energy, are there other aspects to having anemia? Is it work against your immune system or infections or those kinds of things with chronic anemia?
Yeah, I wasn't the healthiest. I used to get a lot of colds and stuff like that, and some bronchitis back when I was quite severe anemic. So yeah, it was always a constant battle, but being on the other side of it is just, yeah, it's an eye opener.
That's great. What were the lab numbers when you were anemic?
Down to 12.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm guessing I'm getting my blood work done here next week again, and I haven't had it done in over 6 months. So I'm guessing it's going to be quite a bit higher. Yeah. So we're pretty excited to find out. And the numbers are excellent. Like, I just love looking at blood work. My doctor, says I'm like a 19-year-old athlete with my blood work, my heart, my heart rate, my blood pressure. And yeah, it's great. It's great to be anti-aging at this age.
So what do you eat now? What's your typical?
I am still fasted because I've been busy and I'm not really hungry yet. So I haven't eaten anything yet today. I love my bulletproof coffees. Twice a day, every day, religiously. I have those. Tonight we're having moose and beef burger mixture.
Nice.
And I think that's what we're having because we're going to be camping out at the farm. So we're just keeping it simple. And yeah, we eat a lot of steak. We eat a lot of my variety is pretty big. So I eat all the meats, all the fish, all the seafood, and all the dairy without any complications. And my weight is completely stable for the first time in my life. Like, my body set point that I thought was 150 is not 150. I'm sitting at 131 this morning, and that's where my body has been for 11 months now. So, to not even consider those things and to let go of, I just let go of a big bag of clothing because I saved it thinking, I'm going to yo-yo again, right?
That's great.
Packed it up, donating it.
Very good. So it sounds like did the whole family go on to this dietary change?
It's just me and my hubby. Our kids are grown up. So yeah, hubby and I are both carnivore. He's a little less carnivore than me, just it's situational. When we're at work and stuff, it's a lot harder to eat carnivore because we work in a work camp. But our chefs are pretty good and they help us out a lot. But yeah, so many neat little things, like all my light white dots are gone on my fingernails.
Yeah, great.
There's so many crazy things, like the skin around my eyes is softened, like wrinkles went away. I have less gray hair than I had. I don't sunburn, which is like extraordinarily weird for me because I
know, isn't that amazing?
Sunburn.
It's amazing about the sunburning, suntan thing.
It mind boggles me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my skin is super soft. No bloating ever. Yeah. It's just pretty crazy. And what the last thing I've noticed in this last month is my neck was getting wrinkly because I am 53. But after I did all that sun tanning, it's like gone. And somebody challenged me on it saying, oh, that can't happen. And I'm like, well, it did because something weird happened. Like, it was another level of a healing or adjustment that happened with the sun. I don't know, but
it's amazing. I think plenty of MDs plenty of people in the carnivores have spoken it being something to do with the different kinds of fats.
Yes. Yeah. My hair's growing so fast. I have to keep my nails short because they're super sharp and my teeth are sharp.
Nice. And yeah, it's nice not to have to color your hair.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's just growing. Like, I can't believe how fast it's growing. And we went and saw the dentist yesterday, and she just picked and flicked a few times in our teeth. And she said, well, I guess that's it. It was like the shortest appointment ever.
That's great.
That makes me happy.
Do you think you'll go back to bodybuilding?
In the future, yeah, we're starting a regenerative farm. We bought some raw land, so we're starting that process. And yeah, we're just, we're going to do a lot of physical work outside, and maybe in the future.
What's the name of the farm? Do you have a name yet?
We did name it. It's named Elk Moon Ranch.
What is that? El Camun?
Elk Moon Ranch.
Nice. And maybe you'll sell your wares online?
Oh, I don't know. It's going to take us a while. We have to, it's a lot of work. We have to put power, sewer, water, fencing, get our animals hopefully next spring. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of work, and we're really looking forward to it. And yeah, it's hunting season, so we harvest our own animals, so we're really busy. So yeah.
Good for you. What a great story.
Thanks. It's been a fun ride. It's been super exciting to just test yourself, see what happens, see what next levels of healing that you can actually achieve.
What would you say to someone who's like considering the carnivore diet?
I would highly recommend it. I actually have a couple friends that are kicking in, a couple cousins, some coworkers at work that are testing it. And so, I'm starting them off slowly and adjusting them and stuff like that off of heavy sugar levels and stuff like that. But yeah, they're really curious. And I think when you're 53 years old and you're taking good care of yourself, it's good to be a role model, hopefully, and show that other people can too. And I'm willing to help anybody that asks me for help. I'm wide open about my journey, and they've seen me yo-yo with my weight anyhow, and now my weight's totally stable. So the people in my life have seen where I've come from.
Nice. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Have you been able to tap in and use MeatRx for support through this?
I have a few times. Yes. Yeah, I've done that.
Good deal.
No, the Carnivore group is fantastic. I love everybody.
Yeah, people are pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And their stories are mind-boggling, what they're achieving too. And it's just like unbelievable. It's so exciting to watch.
Yeah, I think so too. It's great. That's why we do these stories.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, really inspiring.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really glad to hear of your journey. It sounds really solid and pretty easy as far as reaching the carnivore diet and switching over to taste. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was a natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just desire to be healthier than I thought I could be. So yeah.
Well, I'll look out for you in case you're going to do bodybuilding again.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Inspiring. I would love to.
And I 100% will be doing a carnivore diet to get on the stage if I do it again. So yeah, we'll see what happens when this COVID stuff is over and life returns to normal.
Very good.
All our competitions were canceled. So
of course.
Yeah.
Very good.
Always room for more goals.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you'll be plenty busy with that regenerative farm. Goodness.
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
Well, thank you again, Rhonda.
Thank you so much.
It's so good to meet you.
You're welcome. Nice to have the opportunity.
Yeah. Well, carny on.
You betcha.